my little homestead with my husband here in South Texas, Corpus Christi. We are in Zone 9B. We've been here for 5 years, and that's when I started gardening, was 5 years ago. So I do share some of that on our Instagram feed, Beccas by the Bay, and I have made some garden tour videos here on my channel. Um, we had a major freeze this year in Texas that did affect our garden, and so we had harvested most of the fall, and then we had seeds started as well during the freeze, and we had them under grow light, varieties that we grew, and any issues that we had with them, and which ones we liked the best. So let's start off with, this is a beautiful variety here, and I don't see many people post about it. This is an heirloom tomato. It is called a Calypso. They've been about 6, 7, at least 7, maybe a little bit bigger than 7 ounces of tomatoes, this Calypso variety. They've been very heat tolerant. We've been in a high heat drought here in Zone 9B. And also, whenever we do get rain, we get a lot of splitting or cracking. We do a drip system here with a rain catchment. I'm not sure if I did a video on that, but we do have 1,400 gallons of rain catchment here on our urban homestead, and we do a drip system. And so we made cages out of remesh. I think they're 5 or 6 feet tall, and then we had them along a cattle panel in the garden, and we tried some different areas. So this variety, I absolutely love it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful color. It's a beautiful shape. I had no issues growing it, and we probably got about, we would have had more if we had more sunlight, I think. We have some shade back there. We probably got on each set 4 to 5 tomatoes per set of flowers, and then, I don't know, probably 15 tomatoes per plant or so. Now, granted, we have some shade in our backyard. Had we had full sun, I'm sure we would have had a lot more. I had 50 plants this year. Not all of this one. I tried at least, I think, 5 varieties, and this one was my favorite. I guess I can cut into it a little bit later. Here is the Arkansas Traveler. This is about a 3 to 4 ounce size tomato, probably on the 4 ounce side. And when it's ripening on the vine, it's kind of like a blush pink, which is really, really pretty. You can tell this one is a little bit more red. It is a beautiful shape, beautiful variety. I would say that this was very productive for them. I just don't think that we had maybe enough sunshine for it, so we're going to try putting it in a little bit different location. But it did really well, the one plant that survived, and as I said, it had a low germination rate. But it's a beautiful tomato, great flavor, great flavor. We're definitely going to be saving the seed. This is an heirloom as well, and growing this variety again. Also, very great heat tolerant and crack resistant so far. So good. I didn't have any issues of like splitting or blossom end rot or anything like that. It's a beautiful tomato. Let's see. Now, I think someone came by the other day on our little farmstead, and they bought, you can tell it was obviously smaller, but I had a black prim that was twice this size here yesterday. And the variety of the black prim, it had a lot of issues with disease. You know, use any pesticides or things like that. If we'll use essential oils or neem oil, and with 50 plants to take care of on top of everything else, I just didn't have time to get treating everybody. So this one had a lot more disease issues, and I saw a lot of varied sizes, just totally just not consistent. These were all very consistent in their sizing on every plant that I had. And with the black prim, it was just a variety of sizes, and it was more prone to cracking, especially after we had the 8 inches of rain. It's not my favorite flavor. A lot of people say they love this tomato. I actually have tried something similar to this tomato growing here that did well for me, and that plant somehow didn't make it this year. It was the Black Seaman. Has more of a pineapple sweet flavor to it, and if that's an heirloom variety, if you've tried growing that one, that is a great variety to grow, and I will probably try growing some more next year. I was really disappointed that I didn't get any Black Seaman this year. So again, the black creme has kind of a smoky flavor to it. It goes good with things that you're grilling. So like if you're grilling things outside on wood, or barbecuing, or cooking up a brisket and things like that and smoking it, it has that kind of a smoky flavor and it goes well with those types of items. I personally like to eat my tomatoes just in a salad or a pasta, or we do gluten-free pasta. I did some gluten-free einkorn bagels with cream cheese and fresh from basil and tomatoes. That was fabulous. I love grilled cheeses as well. So this one was really prone to, we have a white fly issue, and I'm not sure what else happened with this other than it had some kind of black spots, rusting. We live right here by the ocean, literally just a mile from Corpus Christi, Bayside Ocean. And so every morning we get this early morning fog on many days. And so that can affect our plants here. So we can get a lot of powdery mildew, we can get a lot of rusting, we can get just some kind of moldy like issues. And someone was telling me to try spraying the colloidal silver on my plants, and I totally forgot about that. We make colloidal silver here ourselves, to take if we're not feeling well and things like that. And I should have tried that, and I need to remember to try doing that again, to see how that does on the plants and see if that affects it better. Again, not my favorite variety. I don't think the plant did as well here. We have a dense clay soil that we've been and we've been tilling and using oak leaf mold and azomite, peat moss, and cow manure and goat manure from friends. And we have another friend that raises rabbits, so we've gotten some rabbit manure. Mainly the thing I would say that fluffed up our yard the most for gardening has been making sure that, and we raise chickens, we have backyard chickens, so we do a deep litter and then break that down we've got the Mantis composter. So we make our own compost as well, always adding nutrients back into the soil. So anyway, so that was our black creme. Let's see here. I believe this one is Calypso, Arkansas, black creme. And I did a Better Boy, which is a hybrid, and I did a Husky Red. So the Husky Red, I believe this is one of them. It's probably not the prettiest one, but I'm going to show you anyway. It has a little bit of cracking going on. It was a good variety. It's very prolific. It has a flavor. Here is about the size. They have a Husky Cherry Red, which makes a cherry tomato. This is not it, but it's about this size. So just to kind of show you the size comparison, the Husky Red is about a 3.5 ounce size tomato. It's a good variety. It was a little more prone to cracking than I would have liked, but we did get a lot of rain overnight, and that happens for our area. So, but as you can see, these other varieties did much better and no cracking. So I don't know that I'm going to grow this Husky variety again. It is a delicious variety. It's a nice size. It's usually a very pretty shape, and as long as you're not getting a ton of rain, it's very prolific and makes a lot of great tomatoes. So Husky variety is a good one. It's a heirloom. We also grew the Better Boy. So as you can see, here's the Husky, here's the Better Boy. This is a hybrid as well. This was a little more prone to cracking as well with the rain that we're getting, as you can see. Still a great flavor, very, very prolific. And it's a little bit bigger, so I'd say this is like a 5.5 ounce size tomato to a 6 ounce size tomato. It's a great flavor, just won't quite be, it's got a few more issues with crack to get a lot of rain. And that was probably the only issue we had. Other than that, I didn't have a whole lot of disease issues with either one of these varieties. I think they do great. I just don't know that I'm going to grow them again next year, because I really like how beautiful the Calypso is. And this was a great slicer. This was a great slicer, the Calypso as well, to do fried green tomatoes. It was fabulous. I love this one. All right, so we're going to move on to the Calypso, Arkansas Traveler, Husky Red, Better Boy, Black Creme. Okay, I did have another variety, so I have 6 varieties. All right, so this one is Moneymaker. This is a very large cherry tomato. I had originally gotten the heirloom seed from in my gardener 3 years ago, and every year I save like the biggest, most beautiful tomatoes on it, and I saved the seeds, and I was much bigger than they usually are, and I probably should have like a quarter, but just to show you the size, here's our Calypso. These are a little more than a half ounce, maybe almost an ounce tomato. These are great. These are great for salads. I love to eat. They're very. It's a nice sweet cherry tomato. If you like a very balanced tomato that has a little bit of acidity and sweetness to it, this is fabulous. And it grows a lot of tomatoes. And it probably grows like 8%, like at least 6 to 8 per blossoms on each branch. It's an indeterminate. I think I did not go over that. This is an indeterminate variety, so it'll keep growing. And it does great. I love it. You can just pop it in your mouth and eat it. You can just pop it in as a snack. You can put it in your salads and things like that. I just love this one. The people around here that buy from us like that variety too. This is, I believe, an indeterminate variety. The Calypso, the Arkansas is indeterminate heirloom. Black Crim is an indeterminate heirloom. The Husky is a determinate and an indeterminate hybrid. I'm not quite sure how that works out, but it puts on a lot of tomatoes kind of right away, and then it kind of does like another set of putting on tomatoes if it's not too hot, and it will keep growing. I haven't seen it get as tall as some of our other varieties. A little bit, it's more like a 5 foot tall indeterminate variety, whereas these will just as long as you have room to keep growing, they will indefinitely kind of keep growing taller than 6, 8, 10 feet tall if you let them. The Better Boy, I believe, is don't quote me on this. It could be. I believe this one is an indeterminate as well. Comment below if you remember or not. I forget. And this one will just kind of keep growing as well. This one, the Husky, is a little bit shorter plant. And I think that was it for the varieties of tomatoes that we were growing this year. I'm not sure if you guys want me to cut them open and show you what they look like. They kind of look like tomatoes. You know, they taste really good. I liked all of them except for the Black Crim. And again, just like with the issues with the cracking with those. So I guess that's it. All I had to ask her. If anyone has questions, ask me below. It's been a rough spring and summer as far as the Texas freeze that we had. Pulling everything out, rearranging the garden. We had to move our chicken coop. Our water pipes busted. So we had a lot going on. So we've been rearranging things and trying to simplify a little bit out there along the cattle panel. My husband's changed it around a little bit, so I think I'll show you guys in a separate tour kind of what's going on in the gardens. And I hope you enjoy South, Southern California, Southern Florida, Louisiana, Arkansas, all that. If you have varieties that are doing well for you in the Southern Hemisphere, I would love to know what you're growing. I would love to know what does well for you, what's great for the heat and crack resistant, or when we get a lot of rain, kind of things like that. And we might try some new varieties. One more variety that we didn't get to try, and we were kind of really, I guess we should have, I don't know, there's so many that we were going to look at trying the Select variety. We haven't heard much about that one as well. And that one looks to be a determinate one. So we're hoping it's an earlier variety. I tried to pick varieties that grow in a quicker amount of time because of the shade issue. We're trying to grow them as quickly as we can before the heat comes. So this was a quicker growing variety. I don't remember how many days from seed to plant, but I think Arkansas Traveler was also another one that's a quick one. This one just does really good spring and fall for us, the Moneymaker. I like that one. So if you know some varieties that grow quickly in a shorter amount of time, comment below. I'd love to know what you're growing. And that's it. That's it about our tomatoes and what we did and harvested this year. And thanks for joining me here at Beccas by the Bay Homestead, and I hope to see you in the next video. Okay, take care, y'all. Bye.